So let's have a look at this example. 3 times, then within brackets 2 plus 5. We know according to bit mass, the order of operations, that we should start with the brackets. Okay, so 3 times, we evaluate this first, everything that's within the brackets, and this is 7. And then no indices, and we do the multiplication, and the answer is 21. How about if I have the same thing, but how about if I do it like this? I take 3 times 2 plus 3 times 5. Three times 2 is 6, plus 3 times 5 is 15. And then 6 plus 15 is 21. Same answer. It turns out that we can do these type of calculations, or sorry, these type of expressions. We can calculate them this way or this way. When we do it this way, we use the distributive law. So, have a look at this one. If we have this expression, we take this number, multiply it with this number, 3 times 2, plus 3 multiply with this number, 3 times 5. Then we're using the distributive law. Okay, so let's have a look at this example. 7 times, and within brackets 2 plus 3. We take 7 times 2 plus 7 times 3. And then we calculate this. 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, and add these together, and the answer is 35. So I would like you to do the same thing with this expression, just as we did in this example. For example, number 1 is 5 times 1 plus 6. So I take 5 times 1 plus, because we have plus here, 5 times 6. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. The answer is 35. Of course, you can always double check it, because you know that 1 plus 6 is 7, so 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, how about we do, let's see if there's a trickier one. We can do the same thing with negative numbers inside the brackets. So let's have a look at this. 6 times, within brackets 5 minus 3. Then we just write 6 times 5 plus, and then 6 times minus 3. It's easier to read and looks better if we have minus 3 within parentheses, or within brackets. So 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times minus 3 is minus 18, so the answer is 12. So the conclusion is that the distributive law works with multiplication, both with positive and negative numbers. So let's do one more example with negative numbers. How about we can do number 9. So we have minus 3 times minus 2 minus 3. So first we take minus 3 times minus 2 plus minus 3 times minus 3. Minus 3 times minus 2, remember, minus and minus when we're multiplying becomes plus. So plus 6. And minus 3 and minus 3 is plus 9. So the answer is 15. One more example. Here we're trying to use the distributive law with division, not multiplication. And when we do that, we get a different answer, as you can see here. Then if we compare it to when we do it the way we used to do it with BidMath. So we do this first. 2 plus 4 is 6, and then 12 over 6 is 2. But if we're trying to do it with the distributive law, we get a different answer. We can have two different answers. So the conclusion is that with multiplication, the distributive law works fine, but not with division.